Good evening and welcome. I'll tell you what, there's nothing better on for Adam, is there? He's having the time of his bloody life, Adam is. The lucky bugger. Honestly, he's got a life of luxury, that man, hasn't he? Um, well, we've got 5 people in here, it says. Good evening, Jeff Arroway. Like I said to you, there's football on tonight, so I understand it's either Messi or me tonight. Anyway, I've got an absolute certainty for you if you want to get on there pretty quick. If you've got internet betting, let me just give you a little bit of little bit of a sensible bet for you. Let me give you a rundown. Easy money, absolutely easy money tonight. Can't lose. All you have to do, all you have to do is do these bets that they're offering. Good evening, Graham. You cannot lose tonight with the football. You don't even have to watch it. You just earn money. It's easy earning money. This is what they were offering: 5-1 for Argentina to win over Poland, and Poland were like, I think 10-1 to win. So Argentina should win, shouldn't they? Argentina to win over 9 corners in the game, and Messi to have one shot on target, and it was 5-1. It's a winner. Chicken dinner. You can't go wrong. That could be Ray Winston, couldn't I? Bet. Should we say Corals or William Hill? I could get money for this, couldn't I? Bet Corals, because Sue works at Corals. No, don't go to Corals, because Sue will give it the lurgies. Sue will rush your bet through, and nothing wins at Sue's bookies when I'm in there. She treats the money as if it's her own. She hates giving it out. She don't mind taking it in. She hates giving it out. So anyway, the second bet is stick a fiver on the outsiders. How many outsiders are winning at the moment? So you can't win, you can't lose, can you? Because if you back Argentina to win with over 9 corners and Messi to have 2 shots on target, he's already had that. I think they've had 9 corners. So if they win, you can't win. So you cover your bet by them backing the underdog, Poland, at 9-1. Stick a tenner on it. You won't go wrong. Honestly, honestly, I can't believe you're on here because you had a choice, didn't you? It was either Messi or Messi, Messi, or Messi or me, and you decided to choose me. There's 18 people in the house who obviously don't like bloody football. Anyway, so did you see the latest? Did you see the latest? Chris, have you got my envelope yet? James, I've told you. I've told you. I've told you. You lot just don't listen. See? See? Did tell you, didn't I? There you go. Is it upside down? I think it is, isn't it? There you go. Look at that. Give a little whistle. There's a little battery in there. You have to take the tab off. You have to take the tab off because if I start whistling now, it won't work because it'll just do me head in. But if you give a little whistle, you'll find your car keys, or stick it on your dog's collar, give a little whistle, and it barks like crazy, makes the dog think, bloody hell, what's that? And run back to the owner. Now, at the end of the day, it's for members only. So please, if anyone's on here and they're not a Corleone Patreon member, I'm sorry, I don't care how much you offer me for it. You're not getting one. It's a special gift to members who stick an envelope with a stamp on it, with your address on it, in the post, and I will send it to you. I've only got 2,500 of them. I think I overordered. I meant to say 250, but being dyslexic, I ended up with 2,500. So I'm going to have to do something with them. So you not only do you get a little black box, what a gift for someone. But guess what? You need to keep this yourself because this is your golden ticket. This is your Willy Wonka golden ticket to Corleone Gundogs. If you've got one of these, it means you're a Patreon member and you get special discounts. What are you laughing at?
Tracy's inspecting a thing.
I know. Could you bring that envelope here, Sue, please? Tracy has sent her envelope, everyone else. Right? We're going to show you what Tracy sent. Okay? I don't know what freaking Tracy was thinking she was getting. Hey, Tracy. Oh my God. That's what I thought. I thought, what does she want? A bloody t-shirt? Honestly, can you put the envelope back?
Yeah. There's no envelope here from James, though.
We've got no envelope from James at the moment, but the posts are on strike, aren't they?
He sent it Thursday.
He sent it Thursday. Well, the post could be coming through. We haven't got it yet, but no problem. We're not closing it until Christmas, so you'll be getting it at Christmas. Now, you guys aren't having to pay for it because you're such loyal members. We've decided to give these to you. Now, you can lend them out, but you've got to realize that it gives you 10% discount when you flash it. When you flash it, never mind the bollocks, show me your dog. We come up with all the best ideas here, don't we? Anyway, what I'd like to talk about is cheese. I'd like to talk about cheese.
Yeah, Graham Allison says hello. He's been reading all about the cheese.
At Corleone Gun Dogs, as you know, we've opened our eyes and we now realize the value of cheese. And Adam obviously is out there promoting the fact on these forums. And I'd like to thank Adam for reaching out to these food-based trainers. But the problem is, not everybody feeds Wensleydale. Me personally, I find that Stilton is my favorite cheese, but it crumbles in your pocket. And I find the hard Italian cheeses are so much better and carry a stronger flavor. Yeah, I've seen it, Adam. As much cheese as it can eat was the advice somebody gave me. It's great, isn't it? Eh? Isn't it great out there? The world's gone frigging mad. And then did you see that? Did you see them puppies? Did you see those the puppies I shared? Corleone Christmas cheese selection. That's what we're going to do, Jules. We're going to send everybody a bit of cheese through the post. We're going to leave it in the bag, sweating for about 3 weeks before we send it. We still got 3 weeks left, don't we? Hey, imagine that. Imagine that. You open the packet, you put it on the side for Christmas because you say, I'm not going to open it till Christmas. And you see it crawling across the floor with maggots. Anyway, so we got enough people in here, 29 people on the football night. You obviously don't like the bloody football, or are you bored with the football? You can tell Christopher. You can tell Christopher. You can give me a rundown. Anyway, anybody got any questions? I can't see any questions on it except, did you get me envelope? Sue said we haven't got your envelope. No envelope yet. For the people who are sending the envelope in, there is something else in the envelope as well. But mum's the word. Not only are you getting one thing, you're getting two things, and a few people are getting three things. But mum's the word. We're not going to tell you. And we're reaching out for the people who've made an effort over the year. We're going to do our awards ceremony again, like we did the last few years, each year, for the people who've made effort, put feedback in there, put up videos, and entertained us. And we have about 10 people that are going to be on the awards ceremony. So we're going to have you all dressed up in dicky bows, and we'll have a cheese and wine evening. Cheese and wine. You can bring your dog. You can bring your dog. But we're going to have a virtual cheese or wine evening. So you can eat your own frickin' cheese and you can bring your own frickin' wine. Watching the Mexico game, brilliant match, and listening to you, Chris. Well, put the frickin' Mexico game down and watch the other game. Mexico. Bloody Mexico. You want to watch the upset. You want to watch Nessie. He won't be around next time. Hi, Chris. As a YouTube follower, how genetic or soft mouth does it need to be trained? No, it should be genetic. It should be in the dog. It should be in the dog. The dog should be bred right, and it should be soft mouth. We're talking about gun dogs. We're not talking about Alsatians. But the problem is, it depends how much cheese. Once you teach them to snap, at cheese. If you feed from the finger all the time, you have to teach the dog to be gentle. Else you could teach the dog to be hard mouth on cheese, especially Italian hard cheese. Any more questions? Adam says, honestly, that spaniel wouldn't bat an eyelid at cheese. He wants to work. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? You put the cheese in front of the dog on the shoot. Is it going to want the cheese or is it going to want the bird? Is it going to want to work or is it going to want the cheese? There's that many people out there selling the ideology that it's all to do with food base. Get the dog to follow the hand that feeds it. Each to their own, I say. But why can't we have a laugh? Malcolm Austin, good evening to you. So we have Cook tuning in. Not had him in here before. I can't remember. Frank Casey's in the house. Old school. Adam Hudson, old school. Gillian Leeds, old school. James Boyd, old school. Frank Casey, old school. James, Kevin Polhill. I've not heard of Kevin, have we? Have we heard of Kevin before? Peter Piper picked a pepper. He sent his envelope in. Peter Piper has. I'm very, very, very disappointed actually with the amount of envelopes we have had in for the amount of freaking things I've bought. It's unbelievable. I've got boxes of them. What am I going to do with it all? Honestly, you can't give stuff away. I'm not even charging you for it because you're members. You're getting it for free. No, you're not. You're having to put a self-address stamp in it to make it easy for me so I don't have to sit and write out everybody's name and address. Now, if you're that tight and you can't afford 2 stamps, put an envelope with your name and address on it inside an envelope that you send me, and I will send you one if you're a member of Corleone Talk and you're a member of Patreon with Chris Upton. How about that? So every time your dog runs off and you give a whistle, the barking will start and the dog will come back. It saves all that training you don't need because of modern technology. And then if someone grabs hold of your dog and they see that written on the dog, never mind the bollocks, show me your dog, they're going to think your dog's vicious. They're not going to nick it, are they? Never mind the bollocks. Or should have put, what's your bollocks? Or should we put, what a load of bollocks? Christabel's in the house. Jesus Christ. Good evening, Tracy. Tracy, I thought you said send an A4 stamp. Obviously, I misread you. Trace, I can't get a T-shirt in it. Right? I tried to put a T-shirt in it. It won't fit. I'll wrap a bottle of wine or something for you. Sue says she's going to feel terrible just putting that in there for her. Well, it's not just that. It's not just that. There's something else that goes with it as well. And like I said, it's for our members as a thank you for being a member with Patreon. It's a get out of jail card. This is a get out of jail card. And they're quality. They're quality. Look at that. They are quality. Never mind the bollocks. Show us your dog. There's no expensive spare here, you know. Silver. Or is it silver plated? I can't remember. I did a deal. Anyway, I'm hi Chris, just a YouTube. Oh, I've seen that bit. Any questions? Any questions about dog training? Because honestly, you don't want to watch the football, do you? You lot, 33 people. I'm sitting there thinking, should I just cancel tonight and sit and watch Messi, whatever his freaking name is? I forget what they call him, being dyslexic. He's a little short player, but he can play, can't he? Are they not going to be interested in Chris Upton tonight on a live feed when you've got a world champion footballer playing like that? And guess what? They come on here and they then tell me I'm watching the football at the same time. Well, we might as well go in the bedroom soon at the same time. How long does that take? 14 minutes and 36 seconds. Not in the bedroom before I mention sex. So if anybody doesn't want the free selection of gifts from Corleone Gun Dogs for being members, please don't send in a self-addressed envelope and I'll give it to charity. I can't, can I? How can I give it away to charity, Sue? Because then it's not a special gift, is it, that only members have got? Eh? I could give them to the Blind Dog Association, couldn't I? Take them down to the Blind Dog Association, put them on the little collars, never mind the bollocks, show me your dog.
Bill Jarrow said, how do I stop my laugh from doing what can only be described as a Tom Daly type dive when entering water? Adam Hudson said, Phil, get in the water with it.
Is he gay? Is he gay? His dog, described as a Tom Daly. There's nothing wrong with being gay these days. You've just...
He's described as a Tom Daly type dive when entering water.
Oh, I thought it said Tom Daly type dog. This is what happens when you're dyslexic. Let's read that again. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Phil. How do I stop my dog from... I can describe it as a Tom Daly type dive when entering the water. You've got to pick up them cards and go 9, 8, like the scorecards. What do you want him to get better or worse? Is he not doing a good enough backflip or front flip? How do you want your dog to enter the water? Come on, Phil, give us some SP. Do you know what, Phil? That question has really made me think now. It's made me think, how is he entering the water? No one else has get in the water with it, Adam says. But Phil, what do you mean he's entering? How do I stop my job from doing what I can only describe as a Tom Daly? I'm a bit worried. Phil, you need to give us more input here. Does he knit sweaters? Good one. Good one, Peter Piper. Remove the diving board.
Come on, it was a serious question from Phil, so stop that.
Come on, is it a high dive? Is it a high board? Or is he going off the bank? I'd like to know, what do you mean when he wants to not do a Tom Daly? Stop it. Stop it, Adam. Behave yourself. I'm gonna have to have more wine with you lot. I was only gonna have half a bottle.
Yeah, but you've had labs and dogs that have entered the water like.
So hang on. Sue's given us a rundown here. I've had labs that enter the water like, and then she stopped. Look at Blue. All my dogs will enter the water. I don't know what she's talking about, because I'm still waiting for Phil to give us a little bit more SP here, because my mind is running away with itself. How do I stop my lab doing what you can only describe as a Tom Daly? He's a freaking good diver. Now, whatever you think about him, he's a good diver. You can't take that away from him. All right, he's doing massive jumps into the water and therefore risking massive injury. I don't know if Tom Daly's ever been injured. He's quite skillful. When you say, okay, Phil, okay, he's doing massive jumps into the water, therefore risking massive injury. When I used to sail, Phil, you have the lee shore, and if you are sailing down an estuary and you're not sure how deep the water is, and you've got like a fin keel on a sailing boat, and you might have draft of like 4 feet, you need 4 feet plus, you've got to, if you haven't got charts to go down the estuary, what you've got to do is stick to the high ground. I knew she'd ruin it. In the background, sneezing. You have to stick to the high ground. So you'd keep your boat to the high side of the bank, and the low side you'd keep away from, because as the water goes out, as the bank goes out low, the dog can't jump into and then come off. So if your dog is entering the water and you're worried about injuring himself, go and find yourself a pond that he can only run into, or don't give him a bank to jump off, and teach him to enter the water. So if you go into the water yourself with your boots on, you throw the retriever and you send him out, he'll learn just to splash onto the water and fetch it. If you're sending him off a high bank, that's where you could cause problems if you're not careful. But I've had many a dog go off a high bank and not worry about it, really, to be honest with you. There's not that many times over the years that I've had any injuries at all. But I understand if you're worried about him. But I just thought, why did he put it with Tom Daly? I mean, if he'd said my dog enters water like a lunatic and he'll jump off anything, even the top diving board, Olympic style, I could perhaps understand. But just the word Tom Daly made me question things. There you go. That's what Adam says. Yeah, but you didn't mention going in with your boots on, Adam. Right? And if you've got plimsolls on, like some of you guys train, or you're going to get wet. I mentioned boots, didn't I? Anyway, next question. Come on, fire the questions at us, because honestly, I'm sitting here. I could be playing football for freaking Poland, not the other side, Argentina, innit? Argy bargies. So come on, what's the SP? Any more questions? Julian Lees, did I get that question right about the cheese? Come on, quiz master. Did I get it right? Was it Wensleydale, Wallace and Gromit? And was it Wallace who ate the cheese and Gromit who invented it? Come on, Jules. Retrieved from the beach. Shallow water first. I can't go in. I swim round in circles. You lot are freaking confused me. I'm dyslexic. The whole lot of you are confusing the shite out of me.
Don't forget, if he's only got one, it's good to be going around the circle.
Oh, Sue's explained to me now, Adam. Adam, you may laugh at your own jokes, but how the friggin' else does anyone else know unless you put your leg up? Unless you show them what's going on, Adam. Now I freaking know. Adam, let's ask you a sensible question, shall we? Is it difficult to tread water? Stop it, you lot. Sue laughing. She laughs at anything, Adam. She laughs at those two idiots in the jungle.
I got it right away.
Adam, do you know what she said the other day? He's got a sense of humour. That Adam, hasn't he, Chris? I said, well, haven't I got a sense of freaking humour? She says, no, I don't find you funny at all. I find him hilarious. There you go, Jules. Well done. You had to Google that, Jules, didn't you? It took you that freaking long. You had to Google it. So Wensleydale, Gromit's the dog. There you go. You had to Google it. Jules, I want your address. Don't forget. You need to send me your address in private. Oh my God, there's bromance going on here, but he can't even spell it. No, Adam, I live with Sue. I live you too, Sue. He says love, Sue. I'm cutting out on the wine, I'm telling you. I'm cutting on the wine. This is getting ridiculous. Anyway, anything happened this week? Did you see them two dogs I put up? Those two Labradors. Well, they're not Labradors, are they? What's your opinion about them then? Hey, the Kennel Club won't register them. Think woodworking. Jesus Christ. Hello, Chris. Just found you on YouTube out of desperation. Oh, thanks very much. So you wouldn't have fucking looked unless you're desperate. Thank you very much. Get a puppy, they said. No, I said. Please, Daddy. Okay. Oh, my God. 13 weeks old sprocket. Boy, Teddy, help. Please, please, Pete. Oh, you got thrown in the deep end and you went for a teddy, did you? A little sprocket rocket called Teddy. Well, what you're going to have to do then? Okay, Sprocker, a little Sprocker. So everybody in the group who knows what he should do, should we give a prize for the first 5 people who tell him what to do? No, we won't give a prize. But let's just see who can give him advice before I give him advice. What would you suggest? And there we have the winner straight away. Christopher, absolutely spot on. Peter Piper, what are you on about? There, he's having gameplay already. Join Patreon. Adam Hudson, build a bond, don't rush. It should be, everyone should have gone, Patreon, join Patreon, join Patreon, join Patreon. That's the best thing you could do. Think woodworking. That's a freaking funny name, isn't it, at school, isn't it? Imagine that at school. Think woodworking, and you put your hand up. But that's the best thing you could really do. I mean, these boys are right. Build a bond, gameplay. They're dead right. But guess what? It's deeper than this. It's about the psychology. And if you need to learn about the psychology of keeping your mind and teaching your kids what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, and gameplay at the right time, it all depends how many kids you've got, the environment you're going to bring the dog up in, what you want the dog for. Is it going to be a pet or is it going to be a gun dog? I love the name Teddy. You're going to be on the shoot going, I've lost me teddy. I've lost me teddy. Have you seen me teddy? So he said, he says, thank you. When can you take him? Imagine me training Teddy. Teddy, freaking come here, Teddy. Be like Peter Pan, wouldn't it? No, not Peter Pan. Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin, he had a teddy. Who knows what Christopher Robin's teddy was called? Let's just see who knows. No one? No one knows what his freaking teddy was called to. Oh, thank God there's someone in here with some intelligence. Jesus had a teddy bear. Did you?
He's serious. I'm only 50 miles from you.
No, I'm not serious. No, you can bring your children, but not the dog. So Jesus had a teddy bear. We'll see who's religious in here. Jesus had a teddy bear. What was his name? Come on. If I had a rabbit skin, I'd give a rabbit skin away. I'm not giving these key rings away unless you're a member of the group. So I can't just give the key rings away. But I'll tell you what we might do. Tim is Jack. Why? Timmy Bear. Jesus had a teddy bear. That's the question. I don't even know how to spell Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay, here we go. Jesus had a bear, and what was his name? There's enough of you in here. We've got 35 people in here who can't be bothered with football. So we're going to have a bit of a quiz.
But you missed another bit over, didn't you?
No, just be quiet, Susan, please. It's a line from a song. No, Jesus had a bear. What was his name? No, Paddington was Christopher Robin.
And the Queens had that.
And the Queens had Paddington. She gave the freaking thing away, though, didn't she, after she died? Loads of them. So come on. Anybody? Jesus. No, it wasn't called Jesus. There's 35 people in here. I'm dyslexic, and I know what Jesus's bear was called because I went to frickin' Sunday school. You don't forget these things when you're dyslexic. You're not stupid when you're dyslexic. You hold it for years and years and years. Good information that you never forget. Jesus's bear was called Gladly. Gladly. Did you not read the Bible? Gladly, the cross-eyed bear. Gladly, the cross-eyed bear. I didn't tell you he was boz-eyed because you might have got it then, mightn't you, Ernie? It's a bit Ernie. He drove with Peter Piper. For fuck's sake.
I'm still laughing, and how many times I've heard it.
Gladly, the cross-eyed bear. His bear was called Gladly. Freaking Peter Piper's got it. Karen Evans still freaking guess it, look. David Jones, Jesus. That's what we're talking about. Clarence was X-rated. Clarence the Lion, yeah, he was, wasn't he? Remember him? Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Clarence was cross-eyed.
Cross-eyed, yeah. But Gladly was cross-eyed, yeah. He had, you know that. Anyway, Chris, oh my God. Here we go. This is getting good. Chris, my dog gets excited when sitting and hearing gunfire, tapping feet and swinging her head. She's not making noise, but she's not switching off. I've put correction in, but it creeps back in. How old is she, Malcolm? How old is she? 2 years, right? So did you start off with a starting pistol? And are you talking about you're on the shoot and it's happening, or are you talking about when you're actually training and your dog's just really driven and just doesn't sit still? Are we talking about training, or are we talking about when you're on a shoot? We are waiting, Malcolm. I thought it was Clarence. Graham Allison said Clarence.
That was a lion,
Yeah.
not a bear.
Went out on ducks. There you go then. So she's got the idea of what's happening, and you're out there on the ducks, and she's getting excited. Do you know what, Malcolm? I honestly don't know what to suggest there. I honestly don't know what to suggest. She's not making noise, so that's a good thing. But on the ducks, it's not. Normally, you want the dog sitting still in the, when you're waiting for the ducks to come in, especially on a pond, isn't it? You don't want really movement, do you? I don't know what to suggest. Anybody else got any suggestions on that one? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Questions and answers. Julian's looked up, Googled it. Look, which president's dog was called Fido? Come on, Jules. Let's help Jules out here because he needs these questions answering. Reagan.
Malcolm Allison, playground.
Playground. Take the dog to a playground. Trumps. I reckon it was the Clintons, and he used to keep it under the rostrum because it kept moving. Bush. They're having a guess. They're having a go there. They're having a go, Jules. But you know I'm right. You know I'm right. No, that was his dog was called Monica Lewinsky, wasn't it? Stop it. That was naughty, wasn't it? Lincoln. Yeah, it could be Lincoln. It could be Ford. It could be Ford. Sorry, Clay shoot. Hey, you lot doing me head in. What you on?
He's answering the question how to steady the dog. Take it on a clay shoot with all the banging and stuff.
Abraham Lincoln. Hey, look at that, eh? Tracy Dodds is the winner.
She Googled it.
Winner, chicken dinner. She's good, isn't she? Honestly, Jules, you should send her one. You should send her a gift. Honestly, she's on the ball. You could send me the gift. I can put it in the envelope. Is that freaking big? We could save the world. Save a tree.
I'm surprised you didn't send a sack.
I think she was hoping I was going to come down the chimney. Honestly, your envelope stands out, Trace, from everybody else's. Someone sent the smallest thing you can imagine. It's so freaking small. I thought, we can't get nothing in that. Perhaps I should have said an A4, but it's not right, is it? We need a bigger than A4, isn't it? So next size up, in it, from an A4. A4. Not just for that, because there's more stuff going in the box as well. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. You would.
I think you need actually the one size.
Actually, Sue's going to show the size now.
That would be absolutely.
She's going to show the size.
Perfect.
She's going to.
Somebody got it spot on, actually.
Don't take it on a clay shoot. You'll just wind it up. If you have problems, stop.
Right.
Taking it. Maybe just go stand away from the guns.
Graham actually got it dead right. The size. That's the size. And it's that size, so you don't give the address.
Okay, so without giving the address, Graham Allison sent in an envelope. Not being greedy. That's the size we want. That's an A4, I think, isn't it? I don't know. You'll have to help me. So, so Graham from Allison from Gloucestershire, he put a first-class stamp on there. Obviously, you people out there, you Barcelonian bargain hunters, can't even put a stamp on an envelope and send it to me for a free gift. A5, Sue says. She's looked it up. A5. Thank you very much indeed.
No, Graham and Tracy told me.
All right, Graham and Tracy. She's all she knows everything. Tracy does. Tracy, what size underpants do I wear? She's put 4 X's.
She missed an X. There we go.
What, up or down?
Up.
Oh, darling, I didn't want to boast. I didn't want to boast. Stop it, you lot. Behave yourselves. Anyway, yeah, that's the size envelope we want. It just makes it easier for me. But listen, if you're that tight and you're Barcelonian bargain hunters and you thought you were having to spend, how much is it, the 2 first? Trace, I just asked Trace. How much is it, Trace, for 2 first class stamps? 2 first class stamps. How much is it, Trace? It's because I'm dyslexic. I didn't want you to all send me addresses in different envelopes or not different envelopes, different methods, whether it was on Messenger or Patreon or Facebook or Snapchat or whatever. Thank you, Pierre. That's Pierre. I love you too. Hey, Pierre, I'm going to put your size up.
You just said Mike Tyndall's bungee ones, didn't they?
That's what you wear, isn't it, Pierre? Honestly, when I first met Pierre, I thought he was still in junior school. I didn't even realise he was 60. No, I think he was 50 at the time. But I actually still thought he was at junior school. I said, all right, laddie, you want to come and stand next to me? That's how we got to know each other. I took him under my wing. Or I wrapped him under my coat. He was that small. Yeah, honestly, you wouldn't believe he's a, I think he's a 7th Dan, isn't he? Something like that. 5th Dan, 7th Dan. Desperate Dan.
Adam come back with a question for Malcolm.
Yeah, I read Adam's. Don't take it on a clay shoot. You'll just wind it up. If you have problems, stop taking it. Maybe go stand away from back of the gun line and slowly move towards the duck flighting. What I would tend to do is I would tend to say that you've not done enough standing the dog in the field and firing a starting pistol and not giving the dog anything other than throwing a retriever out, making the dog wait, go and pick it yourself and get the dog to switch off. As simple as that. If you put these dogs in these situations, you can create a problem. If you've created a problem, you need to go backwards 1 step. If you have not trained the dog in the first place and you've put the dog in that situation, you're going to have an excited dog. A dog has got to learn to sit there and switch off. So if you train with another person and the dog's got to learn to sit there and switch off, as simple as that. At the end of the day, we have a bit of a crack on here. This is a bit of a joke. We have a bit of a banter. There's 32 people in the house, 32 people who don't like football, obviously. And that's what I would do. Thanks for putting me in the contact with Tim, Jill, there on Sunday. There you go. Look at this. Honestly, that's what we've got. We've got this brotherhood and sisterhood, haven't we? Hey, nuns on the run. Everybody helps everybody in the group, don't they? Do you know, I thought for a second that said Jack Greenish. Honestly, I've been watching football, so hoping he was going to score yesterday. Flush. I don't know what he's on about. He's loaded, isn't he? He's flush.
To answer Julian Lee's question.
What?
In the UK, we say, well, no, because he said to flush a bird, but in the USA, they say an egret flush. So, no, it can't be that. Don't know then.
So, have you ever heard of the expression, it was a volunteer bird? It was a volunteer bird. Do you know what that means? When it's a volunteer bird? Come on, if you were talking about flushing. I now know what Jack's on about. I'm thinking flush. I thought he'd playing cards or something. Or is that thrush? Oh no. Flew. What?
Flew without being pushed by a dog.
Volunteered itself. Well done, madam. Yes, a volunteer bird. I heard it at the championship. Every time a bird took off and the dog didn't flush it, it says, that was a volunteer bird. That was a volunteer bird. It volunteered. No, it was fucking off as fast as it could. It didn't volunteer. It didn't. There's a bird who's fucking gone. Look at that little fucker go. He's a volunteer. That was a volunteer bird. Like, can I jump in the air so you can fucking shoot me? Ask first. No. Give him a sporting chance. Get away. Volunteer bird. I've never heard such freaking rubbish in my life. Anyway, I'm going to have to cut back on this wine, you know. But do you know what? What the wine was doing to me, it was killing me, everyone. It was killing me. It was making me a boring bastard. Simple as that. And then I says to Sue, I've cut back on the drink. I'm not buying nothing. I'm not buying nothing. Guess what? She keeps bringing wine home. I think she liked the old Chris, not the new Chris. The new Chris sits there moaning, I'm hungry. Yes, when a bird gets up on its own away from the dog. Sorry, Jack, not flush. He flushed it. He flushed it. What? I don't know what they're talking about. They're still talking about it. Drink more, Chris. Are you trying to kill me, Pierre? Honestly, I think you and Sue have got a freaking pact, don't you? Let's get rid of the fat bastard. Tell him to keep drinking. I'll bring some more nuts home for him. Honestly, I've been speaking to Bob. Bob's given me a breakdown of what I'm eating and said I'm having 700 calories too much. I need to cut that down. Cut what down? What do you cut down when you're trying to lose weight? Food. Then you fall over. Honestly, it's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, I bet Pierre can eat anything he wants and still look 12. He does, doesn't he, everyone? Remember Pierre's videos? Honestly, it wasn't one man and his dog, it was one boy and his dog. We're only having a laugh, Pierre, aren't we? You can never look at a man and think, that man's a boy. Underneath, Pierre, knock your head off. Knock your bloody head off, honestly. Did any of you see the video of Pierre when we were up on the moors and we're walking along and he fell over and he did a freaking forward roll and stood up like Bruce Easy? I thought, Jesus Christ, it's freaking Wing Chun. It's Wing freaking Chun. And then because he did that and we caught it on film and it was looking so freaking good, I said to him, Pierre, if you just move backwards a bit, just go backwards. He fell over a granite rock boulder. You bastard, he said. We set him up a treat on the moor. But only because he looked so cool. And when he went over, he did this forward roll. No one else I've ever seen do it. They just fall, didn't they? But no, he did a forward roll and did a standing action like that. And I thought, freaking hell, it's Mr. Wing Chun. It's Jackie Chan. Adam remembers it. Yes, so do I.
Yes, it was me.
Yeah, and then I go, just go back a little bit, Pierre. Just move backwards a bit, knowing it's behind him. You bastard, Chris. Like a ninja.
He's shouting at you now,
yeah. Hey, just because you're not here, you wouldn't be shouting at me if you're here, Pierre. Freaking cut them freaking capitals out. For frick's sake, I tell you, you're getting hard again. We want lowercase in here. We're not having it. Just because you're on the end of a freaking, I tell you, I can chin the freaking computer if I want to. he's rolling up his freaking sleeves. He's doing that Wing Chun stance. He's not into the art of fighting. He's into the art of not letting you fight. He knocks you out before you freaking hit him. We had so many laughs. We didn't we? That's the whole point of it. When you're out dog training, you've got to have a laugh, don't you? You've got to have a laugh. And did you see Dennis Wills? Dennis Wills picked up an award or did something or won something, and he went, I'd like to thank Alice Wise for all the help she's given me. I thought, fucking hell, I nodded my head like this. I thought, Alice fucking Wise? And then I realised he's back in with Alice Wise. Jesus Christ.
Wasn't he the one that moaned in Golden Spud House about her?
Yeah, about Alice. He'd moaned like hell about Alice, didn't he? But and then it's gone back to her because she's got a finger in all the pies, and he knew if he wants to judge, he's got to get his finger in the pies.
He was absolutely bloody fuming with her a few years back.
Yeah, he was absolutely fuming. And let me just remember, if I'm right, Sue, did he say, I can't believe you're just round the corner from Alice Wise and she never told me?
He did.
Yeah, he did. Remember Dennis? He used to come here and he didn't have a freaking clue. Army Major Dennis. He was a nice chap. He was a nice chap underneath all that. But it's funny how people forget, isn't it? It's funny how people forget. They forget how much you taught them. And then they go off and start winning. And then they start thanking Alice Wise. Yeah, we know why.
The witches of
Because she's the secretary and you'll get the judging assignment if you thank her. And hang around with her and train with her. How about that?
Been there,
Me and
seen
my
it.
big mouth. Me and my bloody big mouth.
No,
But
it's not. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've got the T-shirt. You've read the book. It's been there for flipping years, isn't it?
nothing new, is it?
No,
Nothing new.
no, and they all fall for it.
They all fall for it. See that? See that? She honestly, it's so easy to wind her up. It's so easy. Don't talk about Ninja. We got videos coming up about Ninja. Yeah, like a ninja. He did. He was a ninja. Bring it on, big boy. Oh, I love this fighting talk. Honestly.
Yeah, I think Julian's right.
Chris's videos featuring Pierre and Prince inspired me to believe in my own abilities to train my own wild Springer Spaniel. And you're dead right there, Jules. And that's why I'll always be grateful to Pierre. And everyone thinks, who's freaking Pierre? I can't even freaking spell that Polish name. I can't even freaking spell it. So we call him Inksky, shall we? Something Inksky in it. And at the end of the day, I can tell you this. He worked his arse off with that dog. I beasted him. I beasted the dog. And we turned the dog round. And I don't talk about private conversations very often, but Pierre phoned me the other day and said, I haven't been on the live, and gave me a number of reasons. And I haven't been with talking to you for a few weeks, but he keeps in touch. One of the things he said his dog is doing the edges and stopping on a sixpence, pushing up birds. And it's a pleasure that dog's now matured up to what he is. And that's all been put through in the training, and he's appreciated it. But I've appreciated, and so many people appreciated his videos, because people out there struggling saw what Pierre had to go through, and he stuck to it. And I think that's the important thing. The videos where everything goes right, like Adam, he never has a problem with his dog, does he? He's been like the devil dog, isn't he, Adam? You've had more accidents with that dog. I reckon if you fed him cheese, he'd choke. You'd have to race him to the vets, and it would just curdle down his throat. And he took a right beasting in some of the videos. Says, Karen, stop it. I thought you were freaking hard, Karen. Freaking, he took a right beasting. Honestly, that's nothing. He's a northerner like me. No, he's a Midlander. You're a northerner. You freaking softies. We're Midlanders. He's from Nottingham. I'm from Derby. We know how to talk to each other, don't we? I bet he's gone back many a time. He's a black belt. I don't give a shit what colour his belt is. I've talked down more than a few black belts. I've spoke to a few nuns with habits. He's a great crack. He's a good lad. He's a good laugh. And he actually showed me some martial arts once. And then when I practiced it with him, he said, stop it. Stop it. I might have a heart attack. Not me, him, laughing. Corleone Kung Fu. Yeah, I think we should do it. I think we should have a fight. I think I should call him out on here, a bit like Tyson Fury and his dad, right? And I should call him out and go, I'll meet you down my yard next to my caravan. I'll give you a fucking good hiding. And you can bring your children and your sheep. And then if I lose, I'm going to back my caravan into your caravan and set it afire. Shut up, Chris. Honestly. He don't realise he's messing with a pikey. If you can't have a laugh, you shouldn't be here. It's as simple as that, isn't it? I personally believe that Tyson Fury's dad's a bit old to be freaking calling people out on the internet, isn't he? Anyway, we're gentlemen, aren't we? We don't call each other out in real life, do we? Because we got shotguns. Oh my God, don't go there. Karen says, I've got a black belt. I got it from Asda. Do you know what? When I was in the shop, I used to have a record shop that was very long, and it used to be quite long, but not very wide. Like me, really. No, I'm wide, but not very long. Shut up, Sue. She's just having. She always has to have a laugh, don't I? When I tell the truth. Anyway, so I had this lad come in, little cocky little bastard, and start talking about his martial arts and how freaking hard he was. I don't listen to shit like this because I come from a rough area, and people like Pierre don't need to boast about what he does or how good he is. He's a good martial art person. As simple as that, right? He's proven it. He's got the t-shirt and he's got the belts, and he ran his own club. At the end of the day, there's doers and there's sayers, isn't there? And this little fat sod who come in the shop, and I'm in the shop, and I'm a bit bored. I mean, Shooting Times was on a Wednesday or Thursday. I used to get all the magazines, but I was bored, so I entertained him. And he come in and he says, "Look, I know all the stances." So I said, "Show me a few stances." And I had about 3 staff in the shop, and he was doing all these kung fu stances. And I was just taking the piss out of him. I said, "Is that Kung Fu Panda you're doing there?" Kung Fu Panda. That's what Pierre calls me. Kung Fu Panda, the bastard. Anyway, so it was before Kung Fu Panda. This was anyway. This guy was giving it all to Bruce Lee. Freaking, it was Bruce Lee in them days, wasn't it? Bruce Lee. I'm Bruce Lee. I learned everything from Bruce Lee. I was okay. Mung Fung Do, come and freaking show me. Come and hit me as hard as you like in the shop. See, so I'm standing there and they're all fucking pissing themselves. The staff are, because me being a freaking idiot. And I've done a little bit of martial arts, but nowhere near the standard of Pierre. Absolutely nowhere near. I wouldn't even go anywhere near that. But I've rolled around a bit, and I've threw a few punches in my time, so I'm not intimidated easy. Big fat boy like me. Anyway, I've always been big. Well, not when I was born, but as soon as I was born, I just didn't get enough breast milk. Anyway, shut up, Chris, and get on with the story. So getting on with the story, I said, "Listen, I'll fight you, but I can't fight you in my shop." I said, "Because at the end of the day, there'll be blood all over the carpet." I said, "But I tell you what, I'll take you up the back passage." Because at the side of the shop was an alleyway. And the staff in the shop, when I said I'll take you up the back passage, they fell over, pissing themselves with laughter. But where I come from, and where Pierre comes from, we had back alley. Big Panda Chris. Stop it, you lot. Honestly, I'm not talking to none of you ever again. That's it now. 32 people in here, and they're all going to call me Big Panda. Big Panda. Kung Fu Panda. Anyway, on that note, I thought this was a dog training site. I thought we weren't talking about... What? When we used to fight, it wasn't fair in the 70s when you ran competition, because it was into Taekwondo, and Taekwondo, there was no weight division. So we used to go to Manchester, Bellevue, Manchester, Bellevue. We used to go fighting at Bellevue, and we used to load up the car and we used to go up there. And we belonged to this club, and I wasn't of a good standard. I just wasn't. There was women involved in them days, and I didn't have the dedication. But my mate Charlie, Chinese Charlie, he was really into it, and honestly, he was the closest looking thing to Bruce Lee because he was Chinese, right? And he was absolutely fantastic, and he could stretch, and he could punch boards, and he could break bricks, and it was fantastic. And we used to train, and I used to love it. We used to go and watch Jackie Chan films at the cinema, and we used to come out and we used to play kung fu, and freaking it was the 70s were brilliant. We all had flares on. We all looked like Rocky. Well, I looked like Rocky. He looked like freaking Jackie Chan. No, yeah, Jackie Chan when he was thin and small, like Bruce Lee. Anyway, we used to practice fighting. We used to go up the park, and we used to practice fighting in the park and that. And it was a thing in them days. And he got bullied at school because he was Chinese, and it was because Ying Chong Chinaman and all that shit. We got in more scraps together because of his ethnic background, because he was Chinese. It hardens you up. So in life, you might not be a scrapper, as in you've got the certification. That doesn't mean you can't look after yourself, does it? Pierre will tell you that. I know plenty of bouncers who act hard. Unless they're together, they haven't got that backing. But I know some bouncers, hard as nails, and love fighting. And in the 70s and 80s, there were none of this. You had to have a certificate to be a bouncer. You just needed to be a bullying bastard. Simple as that. In the 70s and 80s, ask Pierre. Now, not all of them were bullying bastards, but a lot of them joined the doors to get into the fighting and enjoyed the fighting. And that's what it's about, isn't it? In the 70s, they were fantastic days. You'd go out the back and have a scrap with someone, wouldn't you? You'd go out the back and have a scrap and sort it out. Now they're on the internet. They feel really brave, don't they? Oh, you're a sausage. You're this, you're that. You're a bully. You couldn't train a dog. I'll tell you what. Black gloves on. There you go. Remember them with the black gloves on? Yeah. That means you don't get tooth marks on your knuckles. Black gloves on. Remember it well. Mm. But the thing is, it's about certification, really, isn't it? And I've actually got on my certification, I won't say. Was it assault to a bouncer, Grace? Stop it. Anyway, on that note, I've grown up and moved forward. So I'm not going to go there. So I don't know why we got into that shite. We're talking about dog training, weren't we? Black gloves on. Yeah. Did you see the police with black gloves on a regular basis? Anybody got any questions before we go? You've had 55 minutes. You've been pulled away from that football. Could somebody please tell me the score of the football, the Nessie game, please? Anybody watching the Nessie game at the same time as listening to Chris Upton? Could you?
I've been finished by like 15.
Oh, Sue said it's been finished for half an hour. I don't know if I'm a winner chicken dinner or not. We could have a look and see what the bookies have said, couldn't we? Anybody got any questions? So Sue,
talking. Go to Argentina. There's Tracy again.
Bloody hell, Trace! Trace! So just having a look, everyone, just to see if I've won money while I'm sitting here waiting for you lot. Yes, you beauty! Yes, thank you very much indeed. Very nice of you. Yeah, me Nessie bet came in. Yeah. 50 quid. 50 quid. I told you it was a winner. Anyone wanting to go hunting or coverage on black grass in this country, you must pass the hunting specificity test. Which country? Hey, would you say Scotland? Sweden? In this country?
No, in this country, they must pass the hunter's proficiency test. Which country is it?
Scotland. Sweden?
Sweden, correct, Graham.
Graham, honestly, I've not seen that.
And he answered that quick, so he didn't Google it.
He didn't Google it. He must have read it today. What a question. I'll tell you what, Jules. Here's one for you, and this is for Tracy. I'll give my winnings, £50, to anybody who can tell me what wine I'm drinking. You've got to name the wine and where we bought it. On that note, you lot ain't got a chance. You watch Tracy. Here she goes. Look, Rioja, Sue's Wine and Tesco. No, Karen, good try though. She may have got it from Tesco. It is red. You're nearly there, Peter. We said, what's the name? Aldi? No, we dropped it down to. See, Tracy's just giving you all a chance. She's not rushed in here because she's giving you all a chance. I mean, let's start off. Let's make it easy. Give me the country the wine comes from. If you can't get this, you are useless. So we've already decided that it's Tesco. It's from Tesco. And it's Tesco's finest. 50 quid. Spain? Think I'm drinking Rioja? Come on. Julian, we've already told you it's frickin' Tesco's. French, no. There ain't more, is it? Don't say Australia. Don't you frickin' dare say any of these frickin'. That's what Andy Stead tried to get me on. These New World wines.
You have a dog question though.
Oh, I had a dog question. Should we go back to that? Chris, sorry, a dog question. What is the best way to stop my little dog, my little shit biting? Absolutely fantastic. Argentina? Pierre? Oh, Graham, you are the man. No, you're not. Who didn't go to the World Cup? Come on, I'll help you. Who didn't go to the World Cup? I will answer your question in a minute. I think the woodworking. Who didn't go to the World Cup? Who didn't qualify for the World Cup? Don't say frickin' Scotland, because I've never had wine from Scotland. Come on. You lot are frickin', you're Googling it. Who did not make the World Cup? got to be the top 5. Isle of Man, Italy. Thank frig for Casey. Thank God for Casey. Italian. So now I've broken it down for you now, so you can break it down, can't you? South African. Jack. Anyway, I'm going back to the dog training question because you lot ain't got a freaking clue.
No, pass it now.
You passed it now, Sue.
Money's still in your bank.
Money's still in the bank, Sue said. You've had your chance, you lot. Okay, that's what I'm drinking. Finest. My wife only buys me the finest. You couldn't find a woman like her. I mean, Jules has contacted me privately and offered me 2 camels and a goat and 3 chickens for Sue. And I said, you're taking the mickey. But if you throw in 5 squirrel skins, we might have a deal. Chiller? Honestly, Pierre, forget it. Anyway, we're going back to the chiller. We're going back to the... no, I don't put it in the chiller. Some people do in the summer, but I like it warm. Don't have room temperature. We're going back to that question. And it's a good question. Think woodworking. Chris, sorry, a dog question. What is the best way to stop my little shit biting? Right, listen. All young puppies like to bite. And what happens is you give the dog everything it wants and the kids play with it and the dog starts to mouth them and the dog starts to mouth you and the dog is testing the situation. So it's a young pup. And so what I do is I put my flat of my hand into the back of its mouth like that. So it hits the back of its mouth there. So as it goes to bite, don't pull away. Most people pull away. Go in and push it in as the dog is coming at you. Push it in so it actually hurts slightly there. There. I won't show you my teeth. I haven't got very good teeth and I haven't got a dentist. There. Tracy Dodd knows that. And that, by giving the dog slight negative, the dog will back off. So little dogs have got sharp pin teeth, little puppy teeth. And they hurt, but they don't really hurt. But they can scratch and they can hurt little ones. So what you do is you put your hand in the back of that dog's mouth, let it get its mouth over your hand, but the flat of your hand and put it into the back of the dog's mouth. And that dog will stop because you're giving it a negative for the dog is doing something that it finds fun and you're giving the dog a negative. You don't even have to say no. You just have to put your hand in. You don't have to chop it. Don't do it. Don't do a Pierre. Don't do a Bruise Easy or a Jackie Chan special. Else you'll hurt your little dog. But what you've got to do, and this is where they'll pull me to pieces, you've actually got to hurt the dog, but not to the point that it does any damage. And I've never damaged a pup in my life, but puppies that jump up and bite do that, and they will get a negative and they will stop it. So what happens is automatically when a dog bites, you want to pull away. The idea is, no, you don't pull away. You give a correction and the dog will let go. Unless you own a Mallee like Karen Evans. Anyway, it's nice to see Karen Evans in the house, everybody. And it's nice to see that Karen's out on the shoots with our good old friend, Manchester United fan. Come on, who is it? Who's he with? Who's he hanging around with? Manchester United fan. Great bloke. Come on. You've seen him here. Come on. There's still 31 of you in the house. Who are we talking about? Chaddy. See, Karen had to give it away, didn't he? We were trying to get you lot thinking. Because as you get older, they reckon you get more senile. So by coming on here on a live feed and listening to Chris Upton, I'm trying... Chianti? Freaking think... What? Are you freaking... I just showed you the freaking bottle. What's wrong with you all? Chianti. That was 20 minutes ago. You're going to struggle with that, Doc. Think woodworking if you freaking think that I'm drinking Chianti after showing you. You're gonna leave here tonight and go, I can't remember what Chris Upton told me about the dog. I was pissing myself with laughter all night. Nothing but love for that man. Absolute diamond of a bloke. He is absolute. He's a diamond in the rough. He's a diamond in the rough. I'll tell you what, I reckon if you got the wrong side of Chaddy, you'd know about it. I think he's a diamond in the rough, but absolute great bloke. Reached out and helped so many. And he's a genuine geezer. A genuine geezer. We all need help as we get older. We all do, don't we, Graham? Anyway, on that note, you've had freaking 5 minutes too long, so you need to send me $2.99 in a sample self envelope. Yeah, you can have that on me. But don't forget, everyone, I want to see some more envelopes. I really want to see them fingers. If we don't see those envelopes, what am I going to do with freaking 2,000 of these? Honestly, remember that Del Boy freaking thing where he got where he had to paint that Chinese takeaway? I freaking pissed myself for that, because at the time when that came out, I was living with my mate who's got a Chinese takeaway, and when they painted the Chinese takeaway, and he said he got some paint up in the shed, and it was fluorescent yellow. Remember that? Remember that? That was a classic, wasn't it? Only Fools and Horses classic. And then he painted his mother's gravestone with it, and it freaking lit up like a freaking unbelievable. That was absolutely fantastic. Bollocks, good crack. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Chris Upton signing off. Go and watch your football, you lazy bastards. It's finished now. Thanks a lot, everyone. Tracy, what size t-shirt? She likes extra large, she said. Okay, Chris Upton leaving the house. Susie Two Shoes says, oh no, I'll give her a pet name away then. Susie Two Shoes. You'll all be calling her Susie Two Shoes now. I won't explain why she's called Susie Two Shoes. Good night all. Chris Upton signing off. I think I need to drink some more bloody wine. It flows better when I drink wine, doesn't it? I talk shit. Good night all.